Okay, good evening. Welcome back to the Fire Burns Within channel. This is an album war. Two massive albums. I'm going to show you them both at the same time. There we go. Two classic albums. Powerslave, Painkiller. Two P's, one word. Two massive bands. This is my favourite Iron Maiden album. This is my favourite Judas Priest album. Which one comes out on top? Let's have a look at Maiden first. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give a rating out of 10 for each track on the album. And because the tracks are unequal, I'm going to take the percentage rating out of 100 percentage and call that the final percentage for the album. Okay, first track, Aces High from Maiden. I couldn't fault that track. It's a killer opener. I gave that 10 out of 10. Second track, 2 Minutes to Midnight. Yeah, it's a little bit overplayed. It is an amazing track. It is played a hell of a lot. Maybe in the old days I would go for 10, but I'm going with the trusty 9 out of 10 for 2 Minutes to Midnight. Track 3, Lost for Words, Big Aura, is an instrumental. I actually really like this song. I mean, this is what... having an instrumental album... having an instrumental song on an album, on a heavy metal album, is always a slight drag down for me. But this is an amazing song. I do really like it. Although it's not my favourite Maiden instrumental, that will probably be Genghis Khan. But I do like it. I gave it 8.5 out of 10. Next track is Flash of the Blade. Yeah, I do like this song. I really like it. It's right bang in the middle of the album. It's quite catchy. I love the chorus on that song. But I still only gave it, I gave it 8.5 out of 10. It's a good song. Next up is The Duelists. I really like The Duelists. I think it's a really good song. Again, I don't want to say like it's a bad song, but maybe not obviously bad, but compared to some of the others, I don't know, The Duelists, I only gave it an 8 out of 10. And this is still my favourite Iron Maiden album. But anyway, I gave it 8 out of 10. 3 songs left on this album. Back in the Village. Yeah, I like this song. But again, I could only give it 8 out of 10. It's a very good song. But compared to some of the others, I couldn't give it any higher marks than 8 out of 10. 7th track is the title track, Powerslave. I couldn't fight fault with this track. It's an epic track. It's an amazing track. It's the Full House, 10 out of 10 for me. And the last track, Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner. It's a classic, impossible to find fault with. It's again a full 10 out of 10. That gives Maiden a score of 72 out of 80. A percentage score of exactly 90%. So you could say a 9 out of 10 album. I mean, some would say possibly more, but I've been very as critical as I possibly can be. So 90% for this. And this was my favourite Iron Maiden album. So I'm being super critical. Let's move on to Priest. Now here we go, Priest. Opening track, Painkiller. Impossible to find fault with. It will forever go down as a legendary heavy metal track and a big influence on the power metal scene that was still to really rise, the 90s power metal scene. I mean, that's a 10 out of 10. I can't find fault with that. Hell Patrol is a very good track. It's not my total favourite on the album, but it is a really good track. I gave it 8.5 out of 10. All Guns Blazing is a really solid track. I like it a little bit more than Hell Patrol. I mean, it's just, it does what the title says, All Guns Blazing. I gave that a 9 out of 10. Leather Rebel, the next track, this is one of my absolute favourites. There's nothing I really don't like about that. And even then, I've been a bit critical and I've knocked half a point off and given it a 9.5 out of 10. Metal Meltdown is, well, let's say the low point of the album. It's still a really solid track, but I've given it just an 8 out of 10. Possibly my least favourite track, but it's still good. It's still, you know, in the context of the album, it works. You know, I'm being picky. I need to be picky, right? Next track is Nightcrawler. I love this track. I couldn't find fault with this track. It's very melodic, very catchy, awesome riffs. I've gone full house. I've gone for 10 out of 10. Between the Hammer and the Anvil, again, it's an awesome track. It's a killer tune. The chorus is awesome. The riffs are awesome. I've knocked half a point off because I don't quite love it as much as, say, Nightcrawler and Painkiller. So 9.5 for Between the Hammer and the Anvil. A Touch of Evil. Again, I love the drama in that song. It's hard to knock half a point off, but again, I've had to knock half a point off. But I do love the song. I think it's epic. The chorus is so melodic. Halford sounds amazing. 9.5 again. Battle Hymn is just a 57-second sort of like intro into the final song. I haven't rated it. I've not counted it. So that's not counted. And it leads on to One Shot at Glory. I think this is a fantastic end to the album. It's just a perfect summation of what we've heard so far on the album. It's very melodic, it's fist pumping, it's very catchy chorus. It's just perfection. I couldn't knock any points off. It gets the full 10 out of 10. So there's 9 full songs on this album. Priest rates 84 out of 90, giving them a percentage of 93.3%. That's 3% higher than Maiden's Powerslave. Priest wins. Powerslave a gallant second. What say you?